You're looking live at two guys that have no idea what they're doing. But anyways, it's Thursday night. This is Wide Right CFB. I'm Cass. This is Lindsay. What's going on, Lindsay? How are you doing tonight?
Pretty good, pretty good. Nice to be here.
We have two other people that are part of this rambling wreck, but they're not here yet. But we're not going to wait on them. Let's talk about our first thing. What do we always talk about, Lindsay? What's the number one thing we always talk about every week?
Salute to the service academies.
Oh, man. Let's do it to it. Alrighty, Lindsay. Let's talk about the lesser known of the academies, the Merchant Marine Academy.
They did as I predicted and kicked Salve Regina right in the and came out with a 38-34 win. So far, they've only lost one this year. And heading into next week against Springfield in Springfield, Massachusetts, is going to be a close one again. But I also think that they're going to pull that one out. So
good on you. Have you ever been to Springfield, Massachusetts?
Springfield, Massachusetts. So good on you, Merchant Marines. You're rolling right along this year, and it's looking really good for them.
Nice. Nice. You ever been to Springfield, Mass, Lindsay?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Oh, yeah. You ever been by the Salve Regina campus there?
No. Well, if I was, I didn't know it.
Gotcha. Did I even say that right? Salve Regina?
I don't know. That sounds right.
We just shortened it up. We just call it Gina.
We played the Gina today.
Gina. We're playing the Gina today. No wonder why nobody ever comes on. Yes.
I can't believe we have no one watching right now. Please.
It's fine. All right.
They don't know what they're missing, or they know exactly what they're missing.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Let's head on over to the other lesser of the known service academies, the Coast Guard Academy. And the Coast Guard Academy picked up a big win against those smart kids from MIT, the engineers. They don't drive trains. You want me to read this upcoming sentence here that starts the paragraph, or starts the article, I mean?
Yeah.
Coming off their bye week, Coast Guard trailed by 2 scores early, but bared down to defeat the engineers by a score of 24-14. So the interesting thing about the Coast Guard Academy, though, is they have a lot of sophomores, underclassmen, sophomores, freshmen, a couple juniors, not a lot of seniors on this team. So the fact that they're 5-1 in the service academy kind of bodes well that they'll maybe improve next year. But they're doing fairly well right now. They're 5-1. They're 3-0 in conference. They play. Oh, who do they play? Why did I just blank? It's the most mundane things I just totally butcher. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
You're like, yeah, I'm not paying attention.
I know it.
The next game they play is against Norwich. And I think it's called the Battle for the Mug. It's a rivalry game, Lindsay. The Battle for the Mug against Norwich. So they're going to play this in New London, Connecticut, home of the Coast Guard Academy at Cadet Memorial Field. So look for that on Flow Sports, noon Eastern Time, 11 Central. If you live somewhere else, you can figure it out.
And bring them up.
That is Saturday, October 21st, the 25th. I bet it's something cool looking. You know what I mean? A mug. Go drink.
I would hope
some ale. Some ale or whatever else they drink to prevent scurvy.
I hope so.
Diabolical 58 says, look at this group. And I go, ain't much to look at.
But our moms think so.
Oh, maybe one of our moms do. Your mom likes me. I've met her. She was quite nice to me. My mom drowned me in the bathtub. She tried to, at least when I was a child. Anyways, so upcoming the Merchant Marine Academy, upcoming for the Coast Guard Academy is Salve Regina on November 1st. And November 8th, they take on the smart kids from Springfield, who Merchant Marine Academy is playing. And then they wrap up the season with what they call the Secretary's Cup at Fenway Park versus the Merchant Marine Academy. So that's Coast Guard Academy's upcoming schedule. They got 4 games remaining in the season. We're going to see if we can go 9-1 with a 9-game winning streak. And that is going to wrap up the 2 lesser known of the service academies. We'll hop on over Army is off this week, and Navy plays. I think they host this week. They host Florida Atlantic at 2:30 p.m. on CBS Sports Network from Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium. Navy's 15.5-point favorite. I think they probably cover that. They say 63.5 points to play the game. I don't know that Navy's defense gives it that much, and Navy wins by that margin. What do you think on that one, Lindsay?
It seems like a lot of points for the game.
Yeah, that's kind of high.
I don't think they're going to cover that spread at all.
But what do we know, right?
Right. I mean,
but if we check stats right now, we would not be looking to.
Let's not check the stats.
But something important to keep note of: next week we have a Commander-in-Chief game between Army and Air Force. So that's something to keep note of. That's coming up next week. That's something to watch. That's going to be kind of a big deal. It might make our picks of the week. You just never know. Right. But Army and Air Force are both off this week. Navy plays host to FAU. Should be a pretty good game. I think Navy wins that. They cover the 15.5, but I don't think they take the over. I think it's going to be under on that one. I think Lindsay thinks the same thing. All right, Lindsay, what is the second thing we do every week?
Every week? We do our picks.
Wide right. CFB head-to-head. Oh!
That's what
literally we're head-to-head right now. You're like, what is Cass doing here? This is odd. So Tuesday night, we had our first matchup of the week. Was it Tuesday night or was it last night? No, it was last night. This is such great TV that I've already forgotten. So last night, we had Missouri State and New Mexico State were our game of the week. And I turned it off about midway through the fourth quarter because Missouri State was kicking the ever-living shit out of New Mexico State, only to lose to Missouri State in overtime. How they got to overtime, I don't know. But Lindsay, you have a 1-0 lead on me right now.
Wow, how about that? That's a total fluke.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, by Saturday, gone.
Oh.
I crushed you with the Hawaii pick last week, by the way.
Well, I am fallible.
I've seen Hawaii play one total game this year because that's all they got on TV. Can't watch anything else. All right, let's get on to some picks because Jude and Hunter aren't here, but that's okay. We're gonna continue to work without them. They pop in, they pick up where we are. So our next game in our pick'em competition here is at 11 a.m. on Fox from Memorial Stadium in Bloomington, Illinois. That is home of the Indiana Hoosiers, who are favored by 25.5 points with a 54.5 point over-under against the Bruins of UCLA, who are on a 3-game winning streak after a 4-game losing streak, which cost them their coach, offensive coordinator, and probably, I don't know, some money paying coaches buyouts, wouldn't you assume?
Oh, I would assume.
Interesting thing, Lindsay, is we all took Indiana. And I think we all took Indiana, as you would say, at UCLA. So,
well, because you'd have to have a hole in your head to not pick Indiana on this one. There are a few things that are foregone conclusions, but this game is one of them.
What if you travel back from time and you're like, I have something for you. UCLA beats Indiana.
If you traveled back in time but did something to disrupt Indiana coming into this game, then you stand a chance. But that's what it would take.
You would have to take their team back forward in time. All right, anyways, that's for just losing it here. All right, our third game of the week is number 8 Ole Miss traveling to Norman, Oklahoma to take on the number 13 Oklahoma Sooners. This is 11 a.m. Central Time on ABC. OU's favored by 5.5 points. Vegas has 54.5 points to play the game. We got kind of a mixed bag here. We only have one person take Oklahoma. Do you want to guess who that one person was, Lizzie?
Well, it's got to be Hunter.
No, you have the answers in front of you.
Oh, I don't know.
It was me.
Why did you do that?
Everybody else took Ole Miss because if I want to win, I have to be different, right?
Well, do you though?
But I also picked the favorite at home.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Having watched Oklahoma play a game or two so far this year, I have been wholly unimpressed with them. I think that their rank 13 is a fluke, and I don't believe that they earn that ranking based on how I've seen them play. They have a hard time stringing together good offensive drives. I don't see them standing a chance against Ole Miss. I don't think this is going to be nearly as close as the line would indicate.
You have little faith, Lindsay. You have little faith.
I just know what I saw.
I'm going to pick up another W on this one. I'm taking it. Lindsay, Hunter, and Jude have all taken Ole Miss, so that probably means I will lose. All right, our number 4 game of the week has number 18, South Florida. The Bulls, Jude, you were correct. The Bulls traveling to Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium in Memphis, Tennessee to take on those Memphis Tigers. Now, USF is a 4.5-point favorite. Vegas is 62.5 points. Lindsay, this game happens at 11 a.m. on ESPN2. Lots of points for that early in the morning. Do you think they cover all those points?
I think they do, because while I think South Florida is going to win, it's going to be a high-scoring game. Memphis is kind of a sleeper team to me. I think that they'll do better than their ranking indicates, and look for this to be a fairly good offensive display on both sides, but South Florida for the win.
Yep, panel took South Florida, so we are all unanimous in our pick here. That means that Memphis will likely win.
You're welcome.
Thank you, White Right CFB. All righty. Our number 5 game of the week pits those smart kids from Chicago traveling to Lincoln Memorial Stadium in Lincoln, Nebraska. We're talking about the Northwestern Wildcats taking on the Nebraska Cornhuskers at 11 a.m. on Fox Sports 1. Nebraska's an 8.5-point favorite. Vegas is 43.5 points to play this game. I have a feeling there's going to be some kind of wind or weather condition that's going to affect this game. But Northwestern plays next to the Great Lake there in Chicago. So you think they're used to weather, right? Nebraska plays in Lincoln, Nebraska. Have you ever been to Lincoln, Nebraska?
Yeah.
It's flat. It's flat like Earth. All right. So I'm saying that weather's not going to cause an issue here. Everybody has taken Nebraska except for you know who. I have taken Northwestern because I can see things.
You're the Oracle.
Oracle, yes, the all-seeing Oracle. All right, Lindsay, why are you taking Nebraska in this one? Because you're probably making the better
I'll always
decision.
pick Nebraska over the Nerds every time.
Nebraska over the Nerds. Hey, which team with the N on their helmet are you taking this week? The red one or the purple?
I'll take the red N.
Yeah.
No way Northwestern's going to win.
No way Northwestern. No way Nebraska can mess this up, can they?
You never say never, especially when it comes to college ball. But it would take I would say a number of injuries for Nebraska to not do well in this game at all. So
gotcha. Well, this has got to be Hunter here because it's got a Miller Lite and a cigarette here.
What's
All righty. We're going to move on to our number 6 game of the week featuring two ACC teams here in this matchup. We have SMU, who's not ranked, but they have played well. They probably could be ranked. Traveling to Allegiance Federal Credit Union Stadium in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, to take on the Wake Forest, the Demon Deacons. Now, SMU is favored by 3.5, and I'm going to assume this is because of travel. Vegas says 54.5 points to play this game. This is going to be on the CW at 11 a.m. I'll say this for Wake Forest. They're going to meet speed this week. They're going to see the most speed they've seen all week. And that's what I said last week about SMU. SMU won because they were the faster team. SMU is going to win this game because they were the faster team. Lindsay, why did you pick SMU? And by the way, we all picked SMU.
A slightly better defense is going to give them the edge here. It's going to be a close game. Don't get me wrong. And I would expect to see a lot of back and forth going through it. But ultimately, SMU will hold them down because their defense is that much better.
Gotcha. Hunter.
I just think that SMU's rate of attack is going to overwhelm Wake Forest's defense. SMU's quarterback's good at SMU's offense is good at finding teams' weaknesses and exploiting them. Yeah, I don't think Wake Forest really has much defensively for SMU. It could end up being a close game just for how slow Wake Forest is willing to play, but I think SMU pulls away.
All righty. Our number 7 game of the week features the Sunflower Showdown. Did I hit that right? That's Kansas State traveling to Lawrence, Kansas to take on the Kansas Wildcats. This game happens at 11 a.m. on TNT
Jayhawks.
from, Kansas Jayhawks. Golly, you got me again. David Booth, Kansas Memorial Stadium. The Jayhawks are favored by 2.5. Vegas has 56.5 points to play the game. We all took Kansas except for Hunter. Hunter took the Wildcats. Hunter, why did you take the Wildcats?
Because it's been 19 fucking years since Kansas has won this game, and it's not starting now.
Lindsay, why did you take Kansas?
Because it's been 19 fucking years since Kansas won the game, and it's starting now.
All right, on to our number 8 game of the week. That's the App State Mountaineers versus the Old Dominion Monarchs. This game happens at 11 a.m. on ESPNU. It's from SB Ballard Stadium in Norfolk, Virginia. ODU is favored by a country mile and some. That's 14.5 points. And Vegas says 62.5 points to play the game. Now, Hunter and I both took Old Dominion. I took Old Dominion just because I don't think App State's very good this year. Lindsay and Jude took App State. Lindsay, why did you and Jude take App State?
Sometimes you got to root for the underdog, and I think that App State is the dark horse in this contest that's going to pull it out. Not because they're a superior team going in. I think Old Dominion's going to make enough mistakes in their ball handling and their play calling and their execution that App State is going to come out with the win.
All right, Hunter, why did you take ODU?
ODU has been wheeling out a spread option offense this season. Their quarterback's quite excellent handling it when he doesn't put the ball on the turf. I think provided that he plays up to his ability, and also App State struggled to stop the quarterback run this year, I think that kind of ends up biting them in the ass, and I think ODU kind of runs away with it on the legs of the quarterback.
All righty, our number 9 game of the week. Those Huskies from Connecticut, UConn, travel to Houston, Texas to take on the Rice Owls. I feel like somewhere there's like smart kids are just high-fiving each other over this game. This game happens at 2 p.m. Central Time on ESPN Plus from Rice Stadium in Houston, Texas. Now, the Huskies are favored by 10.5. Vegas says 50.5 to play the game. I'm taking the Huskies to go on the road to Houston to beat the Rice Owls. Hunter's taking the Huskies. Lindsay, you're taking the Owls. Who?
Home field advantage is going to work for them.
Who?
Home field. And as a result, they're going to play a better game. UConn's got some traveling to do, and it's going to keep them less than their best. Normally, I would like UConn in this contest, but I would look for Rice to pull this one out by a hair. Look for them to win by a field goal late in the game.
All right, Hunter.
Yeah, I mean, these are two teams that like to get down and run the ball. Rice does it out of their unique spread option system, provided they can stay ahead of the sticks. I think UConn's quarterback, John Fagnano, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Anyway, he's one of the best and most consistent quarterbacks in college football this year. I think his ability to control the ball, keep it safe while also pushing it downfield, and UConn's ability to build a run off of that will provide them the ability to get out in front of Rice, force Rice into a situation where they have to throw the ball. Rice won't do that well, and UConn will be able to kind of keep that arm's length and win the game.
All righty, that moves us to our number 10 game of the week. That's the Utah State Aggies taking on the Lobos of New Mexico. This game happens at 2 p.m., and you'll have to buy a ticket to this one because there's no TV on it. But the good news is tickets are as low as $26, and this game happens at University Stadium in Albuquerque, New Mexico. The Lobos are favored by 2.5. Vegas is 61.5 points. The panel took Utah State except for, me. I took the Lobos for why, I don't know. But something cool is we've been giving the state of New Mexico a lot of love this season with some inspired play by their teams. Hunter, why did you take the Aggies in this game?
Because I took New Mexico State yesterday or whatever, and the state of New Mexico let me down, so I'm not letting it happen again.
Lindsay, do you share Hunter's sentiments?
I mean, I don't think he's off on that. I would certainly think that that he's got this one nailed. The thing about this particular game is, even though tickets are $22, if you were to go to the Temple Tulsa game, you could buy 3 tickets and still have $4 left over to see them play. So,
and if a frog had longer legs, he wouldn't bump his ass when he hopped.
All right, the real question is, which game has cheaper beer at this point?
Oh,
can you buy beer in New Mexico?
Probably buy.
I mean,
buy
I'm
a
sure
beer
I know you can buy weed in New Mexico.
You can probably buy some meth in the parking lot.
You could do that in Tulsa too. I guarantee it. I guarantee it.
All right. Anyways, we're getting off the rails here. I took the Lobos because they're the favorite and they're at home, and they have a cool mascot. I like the Lobo. Can't go wrong with the Lobo. That takes us to our number 11 game of the week, featuring the number 4 Alabama Crimson Tide, traveling to Williams-Brice Stadium in Columbia, South Carolina, to take on the Gamecocks. Alabama's a 12.5-point favorite. Vegas says 47.5 points to play this game. Alabama might score 47.5 points on their own. I took the Crimson Tide. The panel took the Crimson Tide. Hunter, why do you think Bama wins this game?
Because South Carolina's shown nothing in the way of the ability to block for their quarterback. Their defense isn't good enough to stop anybody from scoring. I mean, South Carolina is Lenore Sellers and nobody else, and they don't have any way of helping him. I mean, Nick Harbor and Dylan Stewart have been complete letdowns this year compared to what they were supposed to be. And Alabama, they took the most hilarious ass whooping of all time, week 1, and have said that that's not happening again. Essentially, Ty Simpson's playing like a Heisman Trophy winner. Their offense is firing on all cylinders. I don't really see how South Carolina stays in this game. I think it's going to get ugly early and stay that way.
All right, Lindsay, why did you pick this game?
Alabama is not as good as a number 4 ranking would lead us to believe, but they are a far superior team to South Carolina. I agree with Hunter. They're going to walk away with this one early and not look back. They're going to more than cover that 11.5-point spread. I'll take the over.
All righty. I took Alabama because I've watched South Carolina play several games this year, and I'm not picking them ever again. Our number 12 game of the week is a top 15 matchup between the number 15 Missouri Tigers traveling to First Bank Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee to take on those number 10 ranked Vanderbilt Commodores. Now, Vandy's only a 2.5-point favorite. Vegas has 51.5 points to play this game. I'm saying I'm taking Vandy. I'm taking the over. The panel's taking Vandy. Lindsay, why are you sold on Vandy? And why are tickets $254 for this game?
I don't know. That's the question I was going to ask. Compare that to the $6 ticket price for Stanford at Miami, and you have a head scratcher. I don't know. I'm not going to go to that game because it's too much money.
Yeah.
Despite
but are you going to watch it?
In Tennessee. I'm not going. I think Vanderbilt's got the edge here in all ways. They have a better defense. They're going to keep them down, a little more potent offense. Although the line has them at a meager 2.5 points, I think they're going to more than cover that. I don't know that they're going to go over the 53.5-point over-under. So I'm going to take the under, but I'm still say they're going to cover that spread.
All right. Hunter, does Vanderbilt cover the 2.5 points?
I think they'll win by a touchdown. So, yeah. I mean, I just think Vanderbilt's offense is built to attack Missouri in multiple ways that I don't know if Missouri's capable of handling. Missouri's pass rush is very reliant on pocket presence quarterbacks. Pavia is a willing runner. Vanderbilt's not really a drop back and pass team to begin with. I mean, I also think I think that Vanderbilt's ability to handle the run. Missouri's not like an elite downfield passing team. They're more of a run the ball, build off a play action team this year. I don't know that they have the ability to attack Vanderbilt's defensive weaknesses. Yeah, so I really do like Vanderbilt in this one. I think Pavia leads them to a win. And as for your question, why is this game so expensive? It's a top 10 matchup. And much like
top 15,
whatever. Much like Nashville's spiritual cousin, Austin, everything's fucking expensive in that city.
All right, that brings us to our number 13 game of the week, featuring the number 11 ranked BYU Cougars traveling to Jack Trice Stadium in Ames, Iowa to take on the Iowa State Suckeyes, Cyclones, whatever they're called. Iowa State's favored by 2.5 points. Vegas is 49.5 points to play the game. We're all in favor of the road team winning this game. The Cougs, we're picking the Cougs at 2:30 p.m. on Fox. Hunter, why are you a fan of the Cougs in this game?
Because I picked against them last week. I thought about how dumb I was. I also realized that not only is their quarterback wear the number 47, but he has a massive ass. So I don't know how they can lose.
All right, Lindsay, you want to get on top of that?
I don't know how you could pick Iowa to win this one. It blows me away. Iowa State is not going to be able to hold a candle to this. There's no way that BYU isn't going to win by at least 2 touchdowns. And I look for them to pull ahead probably after halftime's over. Come out, hit the third quarter strong, and just keep rolling.
See, I'm gonna key all in on a little something. I told Hunter this yesterday. What I was gonna do is I was gonna go behind Jude on every pick. And every time he picks somebody, I'm like, I think I'm gonna change my pick to that pick. Jude, that's what you get for not being here. You ruined my little rib I was going to pull on you. All right. That takes us to our number 14 game of the week, and that's the number 23 Illinois Illini traveling to Husky Stadium in Seattle, Washington to take on the Huskies of the University of Washington. This game happens at 2:30 p.m. on the Big Ten Network. Washington's a 4.5-point favorite. Vegas is 54.5 points to play this game. Hunter likes the Huskies. I like the Huskies. Lindsay and Jude are going with the Illini. Lindsay, tell me, why do you like the Illini so much?
When I look at what promises to be a close game and I try to decide on who I think is going to win, I will give the edge to defense every time. I think Illinois has a little bit better defense protecting against the run in Washington. And as a result, I don't see Washington winning this one. Illinois is going to pull this one out by I would say 7 or 10 points even, and I'll take the under because I don't think it's going to be a terribly high-scoring game, but Illinois will be there in the end.
All right, Hunter, tell me why Washington wins this game.
Like Lindsay said, these are 2 pretty evenly matched teams, but what I turn to more, because I don't really think the defense is all that different, is quarterback play. DeMond Williams is demonstrably a better quarterback than Luke Altmaier has been. He's much more dynamic. He adds an element to Washington's offense that I don't really think that Altmaier can provide to Illinois. And also, the travel is going to make this one of those games where, like, if you're just a split second behind on your thought process and your decision making, DeMond Williams will make you pay, and the travel of this game will add in that like extra delay, I think, and kind of just to make it a bit more difficult for Illinois. So I like Washington this one. It'll be a close fought, hard-hitting game if both these coaches are willing to go and make it to a rock fight. But I think DeMond Williams gives Washington the edge to win it.
All righty. Our number 15 game of the week features 2 defensive run-the-ball stalwart teams. Minnesota travels to Iowa to take on the Hawkeyes. This game happens at 2:30 p.m. on CBS. They're playing at Kinnick Stadium in Iowa City, Iowa. Iowa's an 8.5-point favorite. Vegas is 39.5 points. Hunter's saying, take the under. There's no way to hit 39.5 points. Hunter, why do you like the Golden Gophers in this game?
Because this game's going to come down to punters and kickers. And I think one of those rare instances in time that Minnesota actually has a better special teams unit than Iowa does. Floyd Parrish, great returner, great feel for the ball, even though he plays defense. Minnesota's ability to make field goals and get in position and take the points, I think, will be the difference maker. And I truly believe this game's going to be a 12-9 experience. So, congratulations to everybody when both these teams score 30 points each.
All right, Lindsay, you took Iowa in this game. Jude took Iowa in this game. I took Minnesota. Lindsay, why did you take the Hawkeyes?
This game is going to be closer than I think the line even indicates. So I'll take Iowa, but I don't think they're going to cover that spread. And I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game because I believe that this will be a sloppily played game. I think there's going to be a lot of stops on third down. So I agree with Hunter that you're going to see a lot of punting. So it's going to be tough for either team to score. So look for Iowa to squeeze it out by a field goal. I'll take the under.
All righty. Our number 16 game of the week happens on the CW network from Martin Stadium in Pullman, Washington. That's the Toledo Rockets traveling to take on the Washington State Cougars, as Hunter's buddy would always say. Wazoo, man. The Cougs are favored by 1.5 points. Vegas is 46.5 points to play the game. I took the Rockets. The rest of the panel took Wazoo, man. Hunter, why are we going with Wazoo, man?
Well, the team kind of does a lot of different things. They do a lot of quarterback run. They like to build off the spread option game. I think they're a little bit more talented than Toledo is. And I think that Toledo kind of had. I mean, this is one of those things that I think Washington's way of attacking quarterback run and getting the ball up to their tight ends is something that Toledo doesn't really respond well to. And the speed at which Washington State can play will kind of put Toledo behind. I think it's still a close game. Toledo's going to keep it close. But I do like Washington to win, but it may be just by a point. Washington State.
All right, Lindsay, you took the Cougs also. You're thinking that Washington State's going to win this by more than that 1.5 points.
Yeah, but not by much more. I think this will be a close game, but not because it's going to be really well played. Again, it's going to be like the game we were talking about previously, tough for the teams to move the ball. And as a result, we're going to see less than 45.5 points it's going to take to play this game. So take the under, and I'll take Washington State by a touchdown.
All right, here we go. At 2:30 p.m. on the ACC Network, with tickets as low as $13 for McIntyre Stadium in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The NC State Wolfpack travel to take on the Pittsburgh Panthers. Pitt is a 6.5 point favorite. Vegas is 57.5 points. Lindsay says Pitt's going to win the game. Hunter says Pitt's going to win the game. Jude says Pitt's going to win the game. Hell, I even took Pittsburgh too. You know why? Because I have no faith in NC State. Hunter, what is your thoughts on NC State?
Well, first, congrats to NC State for winning this game because the panel picked against them.
Yep.
Secondly,
good job, NC State.
My thought process was that Pitt has found something with their new quarterback and Matt Henschel or whatever his fucking name is. He plays good football. He is an asset to the run game. They build off of it well. I don't really see much in NC State's offense. Has been very hit or miss. The quarterback CJ Bailey has shown flashes of brilliance, but he's also shown a lot of young quarterback errors. I mean, he'll probably have a good career overall, but this year's been kind of rough for him. And I don't think NC State has a supporting cast to really go and hide his flaws. Pitt's got a good defense that'll put a lot of pressure on him early. And on the flip side, I don't think NC State's defense can really get after Pitt. I think Pitt will get ahead in this game and kind of control like a 28-14 contest.
All righty. Lindsay, your thoughts?
Yeah, Pittsburgh's superior in all the facets of the game, but NC State isn't just going to go quietly, and I would expect them to be there throughout the game, constantly knocking on the door, but ultimately Pittsburgh's going to take an early lead and never give it up. They're going to win by 10 points.
All righty, and that brings us to our number 18 game of the week. And that's the Aztecs from San Diego State traveling to Fresno, California, to take on those Bulldogs of Fresno State at 2:30 p.m. on Fox Sports 1. This game happens at Valley Children's Stadium. The Aztecs are favored by 2.5 points. Vegas says 47.5 points to play the game. We got a split pot. Hunter and I are taking the Aztecs. Lindsay and Jude are taking the Bulldogs. Lindsay, why are you leaning Bulldogs in this game?
Because they have a slightly more potent offense, and while this will be a close game, Fresno State has the advantage in their ability to play the ball better. So look for them to cover that spread, which is only 2.5. So I think they're going to win by 10 points, and I'll take the over.
Hunter, you think this Aztec defense can stop Fresno State, shut them down at home?
I mean, San Diego State's defense has proven to be quite a podium unit, and but I don't really think that either. Like this will be game where defense is determined as much as they will be. Both teams will play well, but I think that the ability of San Diego State's offense to find more explosives will lead them to a victory over Fresno State. It's going to be a hard-hitting game. This is basically a rivalry game because if you look up the 1992 matchup for it, those of you who know college football know about the 2006 Miami FIU game, in which the Miami players walked on the field and started swinging their helmets at the FIU players. Great stuff. The 1992 Fresno State and San Diego State game, the players were climbing in the stands to fight the fans. So I'm just saying that there's got to be some rivalry in this. But I'm going to take the Aztecs because I think their offense is a little bit more explosive and will give them the edge.
Oh, man. Do we have time for a story? Can I tell a quick story?
Sure.
We're talking about players crawling into the stands to fight fans. So my dad tells the story. My dad doesn't tell any tales. My dad tells the story of when he was in high school. And their rival city, that was like their arch enemy city, was like their next door city. They were playing in football. And he said that a fight had broke out between the players, the fans, even the police from each town fought each other. He said they were just out there just billy clubbing each other down to the ground. My dad tells no tales, but he tells the story of two towns just beating down on each other. So if you ever thought that the players crawling into the fans, just imagine the cops hated each other so much they whipped each other's asses.
Good old-fashioned Donnybrook.
Oh, my gosh. Hunter, am I wrong? He's told the story plenty of times.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think he's lying. It is funny.
Yeah, I would imagine. All right. Our number 19 game of the week features the Western Michigan. Jude called them Hilltoppers, but I think he was wrong. Versus the Miami, Ohio Redhawks. Now, I think Jude took Western Michigan. Lindsay took Western Michigan. Hunter and I took Miami of Ohio. The favorite is Miami of Ohio by 1.5. Now, this game happens at Yager Stadium in Oxford, Ohio. The Redhawks are favored by 1.5. Vegas is 41.5 points. I say take the over. Take Miami to way overcover that. Hunter likes Miami of Ohio. Why do you like Miami of Ohio so much, Hunter?
I think that DeQuan Finn's kind of refound his footing post injuries that he suffered and got Miami of Ohio back into a contending position that they want to be in. I think it will provide them the ability to attack Western Michigan at all levels of the field. I think that Western Michigan's offense is a little bit behind. Overall, it could be a good game. But this game's being played on Saturday, which is the most important part. If this is played on a Tuesday night like it should be, I'd pick Western Michigan. But it's played on a Saturday, so I have to go to Miami.
I mean, it should be played on a Tuesday night. There should be like snowflakes on the ground.
Yeah.
There should be about 12 people in the stands.
And it should be about 4 degrees.
Yeah, and the announced team in the booth should be half in the sack.
And a good time will be had by all.
Yeah, you know, the good Harry Carey impersonations. Oh, we're back here in Oxford, Ohio. All right, y'all ready? You want to take a break, or y'all want to keep plugging along?
We can go. Keep going.
All righty. Our number 20 game of the week features those Bears of Baylor traveling to Cincinnati, Ohio to take on the Bearcats, the number 21 ranked Cincinnati Bearcats. Now, we got another split pot here. Lindsay and Jude, for some reason, took Baylor. Hunter and I took Cincinnati. I took Cincinnati because I'd been picking Baylor all season, and all they've done is lose every time I pick them. So, we're going with the Bearcats. We're trying a little reverse psychologies here. Cincinnati's favored by 3.5 points. Vegas says 66.5 points to play this game. Now, Baylor does not lack for offense. They lack for defense. Hunter, why are you taking the Bearcats?
Because the Bearcats match a good explosive offense with a defense that's capable of stopping anything. So, They have a good They have a capable defense, and moreover, and this is saying something. I think Scott Satterfield will outcoach Dave Aranda. Which isn't saying much, but he will do it.
Mm. That's like saying a quarter is going to fall faster than a nickel.
Well, true. It's not that big of a difference.
Exactly. All right, Lindsay. Why are you taking the Baylor Bears? This is because of the hometown feel?
No, it's because you picked Cincinnati, which means Baylor's going to win because every time you pick Baylor, they lose. So the times you don't pick Baylor, they're going to win. So that's why I went with them. And yeah. I believe
that
will be a fairly close game because, to your point, they have a potent offense. They'll put a lot of points up on the board. So they're going to win. They'll cover that. They'll cover that spread. And I'll look for the over because I think both teams are going to be scoring a lot this game.
Cincinnati chili for everyone. On to our number 21 game of the week. Now, this is a game of the week. It features the number 3 fighting Texas Aggies of Texas A&M versus the number 20 Tigers of Louisiana State University. This game happens at Tiger Stadium at 6:30 p.m. on ABC. This is in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. The real Death Valley. The Aggies are favored by 2.5 points. Vegas says 48.5 points to play the game. Now, we all are leaning the fighting Texas Aggies. But if you came in on Monday morning and you said, Cass, can you believe LSU pulled an upset? I'd be like, yep, I can't believe it at all. You are 100% correct. I can't believe it. I think Texas A&M wins this game hands down. Hunter thinks Texas A&M wins this game, but why?
Have you seen LSU play offense?
Fair enough. Lindsay?
A&M's just a superior team. They've got it all over them in executing their game plan going in. They got better coaching. They're just better at every aspect. So I don't know how the line only has them favored by 2.5 points. I think they more than cover that. Look for them to win handily by a couple of touchdowns and walk away with this thing.
All righty. On to our number 22 game of the week, featuring the Cougars. We got a lot of Cougars going on this channel this week, of Houston, traveling to Mountain America Stadium in beautiful Tempe, Arizona, to take on the number 24 Arizona State Fighting Joey Preciados. Arizona State's favored by 6.5 points. Vegas has 46.5 points to play the game. Everybody chose Arizona State except for yours truly. I took Houston because I know that Arizona State's star wide receiver, Jordan Tyson, is going to be out this game with a quad injury. So I'm leaning Cougs in this game. Lindsay, why are you taking the Fighting Joey Preciados?
I don't think his absence is going to matter as much as Arizona State's offense is potent, if that makes sense. So I think that they're gonna overcome that and not have much of a problem. Although Houston will be close on this one, don't get me wrong. I don't think they're really going to be that big a threat. And look for Arizona State to pull this one out in the fourth quarter and hang on to that lead.
All right, Hunter, why are you taking the number 24 ranked Arizona State Fighting Joey Preciados?
Because I think they can attack Houston in similar ways that Texas Tech did, utilizing some vertical pass game without Jordan Tyson. Also, I think Arizona State's defense is probably the best one Houston's seen all year. They'll take away a lot of the run game. They'll put a lot of pressure on Connor Wigman to really take over the game with his arm, which he struggled to do since last year at A&M. So we'll see. But I think Arizona State's just a bit more potent offensively and defensively in a way that provides them the win over Houston.
All right. That brings us to our number 23 game of the week. And we have one more after 23. We got 24, but I'm going to let you know right now. We got back-to-back rivalry games. Do y'all like a good rivalry game?
Oh, yeah.
Hunter, you like a good rivalry game, son?
Sure. I mean, this isn't like the biggest rivalry game. It's like
no, it's a good rivalry game. It's a good rivalry game. It's got a great name. Welcome to the Rumble in the Rockies, featuring Colorado traveling to Rice-Eccles Stadium in Salt Lake City, Utah, to take on the Utah Utes. This game happens at 9:15 p.m. Central Time on ESPN. Utah's a 13.5-point favorite. Vegas is 49.5 points to play the game. The panel took Utah, so you know what that means. Congratulations, Colorado, on the victory. Lindsay, why do you like Utah in this game?
Well, even the fact that we all picked Utah, I still can't give Colorado the win on this one. I'm going to say that this one's going to defy all the odds. There isn't going to be much of a competition here. Colorado has not impressed me this year at all. And I think although they're not up against the same quality opponent as they would be if they're playing a ranked team, Utah still is going to have every way to beat them at the ready. And I expect that a better defense from Utah, slightly better offense is going to be more than enough for them to cover that 13.5-point spread.
All right, Hunter, why do you like the Utes?
Because the defense is superior. The defense would be able to do like what BYU did against Colorado, force their quarterback into dropping back, and dropping back further and further. Getting sacks are extremely detrimental to drives. I don't think Colorado has the answer. The answer's on the outside in the athletic department to go and push the ball downfield effectively. They certainly won't be able to run the ball very well. I think Utah's offense is extremely physical, and Colorado has yet to prove they can handle a physical offense. They haven't been able to do it once this year. I guess they handled Iowa State, but maybe that's the only really proof. But I think Utah's more dynamic than Iowa State's offense. And again, I think their physical nature will push them over Colorado.
I took the home team because they were favored. That's why. All right, our number 24 game of the week. This is our last pick of the night. We're going to end it here. Now, there's something special about this game because it's worth 2 wins. Because this is a Division II game.
It's not Division II.
Whatever.
It's
You're ruining it.
FCS.
It's Division FCS. Thanks, Hunter.
And these two teams would beat the shit out of a good 40% of the FBS.
Now, I'm going to go with probably 60 or 70. I've watched a lot of college football this season, and I've only been disappointed. With that said, we've got a matchup between North Dakota State, who's undefeated, versus South Dakota State, who's also undefeated. This game's worth 2 wins, but unfortunately, we all took North Dakota State. Lindsay, why did you take North Dakota State? It's because their run game, their defense, special teams, they have a distinct road advantage.
I didn't put that.
No, you took them because I took them.
I will confess, I sort of went with the wind on this one, and I just sort of I couldn't. I deferred my opinion to those who know more, and I figured, how wrong can everyone be? I will also go with North Dakota because you guys did. So
I leaned on Hunter for this pick here, but not like what you think. So in poker, whenever Hunter has to make a decision, he takes a coin and he flips it.
Yeah,
I took a coin and I flipped it.
Decision. I just flipped the coin to piss people off.
I flipped the coin. It landed on North Dakota State. Boom goes the dynamite.
Fair enough.
Hunter, you're the expert on this FCS matchup. Why is North Dakota State going to win this game?
I went with North Dakota State because, ever since about halfway through the season last year, they found their stride. They attack at all levels, running and throwing. Their offense is a bit more evolved than classic North Dakota State, but it's not terribly so. Their defense is still excellent. I think South Dakota State's missing a couple athletes in the most important positions, at quarterback specifically. They've done well so far this year, but North Dakota State certainly looks like a much more dominant team. And I think they'll go on the road and get a big win there. Brookings, the Dakota Marker game. It's going to be some excellent stuff. Great football. Go ahead and watch it. But North Dakota State's going to get the win.
All righty. That's going to wrap up our picks. Now, just to let everybody know, Jude also picked North Dakota State. So we're just throwing that out there. But all our picks are now final. You've had your opportunity to change your picks. Our picks are now final. I couldn't change any of my picks to mirror Jude's picks this week. So our picks are now final. And we're going to go ahead and wrap the show. Hunter, let's start with you. We're going to wrap it up and get on out of here.
Okay. Yeah. Something, eat 'em up cats or something like that.
Go Navy beat. The
Oh, yeah,
Owls.
go Navy, beat FAU.
All right, Lindsay.
Well, as long as we have one person watching, this has become our OnlyFans site. So thank you, Diabolical58, for tuning in. Appreciate you. Hopefully we'll see you next week.
It's not only fans. It's only fan.
That way there's no copyright infringement.
Yes. That's fan with an M-N. Fam.
Only fan apostrophe, yes.
Yes,
I would love to see the
apostrophe.
lawyer that works for that company.
Yeah, about that. Anyways, I want to thank everybody for showing up. I think at one point we did have 6 viewers in the live stream, which is good. That's a bonus. I'd like to thank Hunter for joining us. I know he was working against time. Lindsay, as always, and unfortunately we didn't get to have our buddy Jude on tonight, but I'm sure he's working hard, and we do have something big coming up. I want to thank everybody for joining us. Thanks, Diabolical58, for chiming in. And remember, the team that scores the most points always wins the game. Thanks for watching.